this team and Bungie in general is all about collaboration. Testers, designers, effects artists, animation, all these sources of input from everywhere coming together, and like that was magic for me.
The final shape, it felt a little like a love letter at times. We really thought about bringing that forward to the weapons. Like Kvostov, it's the first gun you get. There has to be the narrative bookends of the first gun I got in the game. It's here in the Pale Heart. It's like this old friend returned. How do you make this thing really good and really powerful without making it not what it is? And that was really challenging. What we ended up deciding on is it is about your skill. Oh, it's all in the wrist, a little. Like, it's gonna bounce several times down this line of guys. You're just really good at bouncing this bullet. It's fate, almost. This thing's dope. Help! Yeah. And we pepper in the number 7 in as many places as we could. So it bounces 7 times. It's got a bunch of 7s in its stat. You get 7 bouncy bullets when you pick up an Orb of Power. Bungie has a long legacy of loving the number 7, and this felt like the right place for it. Cade has this iconic hand cannon that in a lot of ways has become a symbol. We took Ace of Spades and we went, where's the rest of the deck of cards? We had this really cool opportunity to theme all the Pale Heart weapons after different suits.
It has this two-tone feel to it. The opposite side of the gun is the inverse of that idea. They look freaking awesome. It also has like these fantasies of characters that have influenced Cade. These guns are part of his past.
We wanted something that you can't do with any of your other weapons, and we came up with no hesitation. It shoots these harmonic bullets that if you're targeting an enemy, it'll hurt them and burn them. But if you're shooting an ally, it'll heal them.
I love this thing.
Oh, I'm so glad. We had to build a lot of the language, and with the new cool little Guardian health bars, you can see that. The healing effect on it is very strong. For a while, we were calling it the Just Don't Die gun. It has its own little energy bar, like the glaive does, and that energy bar is charged by any damage whatsoever. It's like, we know what we did.
Since you are returning to the Traveler, we wanted to focus on bringing new supers to the light subclasses.
For Song of Flame, we wanted to plus up Radiance from Destiny 1 and have it be combat focused.
If you remember, Radiance from D1 has fire wings. We kind of ate that visual space with Dawnblade, where you've got these like awesome flame wings. In a split second, if a player sees a character solar with wings, they're going to see that it's Dawnblade. We had to come up with something different.
Zach, our VFX artist, came up with the idea of this halo around you, like a medieval painting.
Twilight Arsenal is a one-off super that also creates these axes. Coming up with visuals for that axe, it was an interesting challenge. How do we want to root this in Destiny? We took a lot of inspiration from Titan's shield. What would it feel like if the axe was the shield broken up? And when you look at it side by side, you can definitely see that connection between the two.
Storm's Edge. We wanted to call back to Arcblade in Destiny 1, throwing the dagger and zipping over there, blowing up stuff. How long do you have in the super? Initially, you had a long time. You had
24 seconds. We did not earn any friends in those playtests.
No, people were pretty mad. But we toned it down, and now you only have 12 seconds, and it's a lot more reasonable.
We found a problem where when you grapple and then you cast Blink Dagger out of it, I fall to the floor. Right? Whereas if I'm in midair and I blink dagger, I should be held in midair, right? And it sucks. So I want to fix it.
It's the things like the camera shake, the way the rumble spikes and then falls back off. We need all of our abilities to feel awesome.
We want to make it so that the controller melts away. You stop thinking about what do I have to do, and instead you just inhabit your character and you don't have to think about it. The game just plays.
The great thing about Prismatic was every playtest we did, the feedback got better and better. We have gone back and forth on what starter builds that players will get in Mission 1.
Okay, we're going to start the Titans with Stringer's Lash, their strand aspect, and Knockout. One of the notes we got is players just weren't understanding how those two things comboed in a loop. Well, we're going to drop Dringer's Lash, and instead we're going to put in Diamond Lance. Now, any ability kill is making your Diamond Lance. Your knockout punch, hey, that makes a Diamond Lance. You throw your Diamond Lance at the floor, everything's frozen, now you can punch stuff again and get amplified with knockout. Once we made that switch, all of a sudden it clicked in players' heads. This loop becomes a lot more clear, and players were much more satisfied with their starter loadouts.
At the end of the day, like, the chaos is the point.
Yeah. If you aren't surprised and delighted in a way that you didn't expect, like,
Yeah.
This strike is probably one of the coolest strikes that we've ever released.
I started my Destiny journey playing strikes. I really wanted to push the expectations of what a strike could potentially be. This strike, it's sort of a memory out of the Witness's history of its race and what its buildings may have looked like in the past. A lot of the inspiration comes from 30s pulp novels, adventure flicks, uncovering ancient, hidden cities that have not seen a living soul in eons. And then subsequently destroying those cities moments later.
Imagine you're in a narrow hallway. You need to escape it. Lava is descending. Obstacle is coming out of the walls. You made this slide towards the closing door and you're dead. The door just closed right in front of your face, so...
That happens a lot.
I have 7 Gilded Conqueror titles. I want this strike to be the hardest strike we ever made. I want people to scream and cry over this strike.
Oh no!
And just say, how do I complete this strike on Grandmaster difficulty? And I'll be like, yes.
That's kind of one of the fun parts about making a strike. There's so much freedom and creativity to do wild things, and then testing that. It's just a lot of fun, that back and forth.
We have a very tight relationship with Test as designers, and I couldn't do anything I do gameplay-wise without Test there at my side. But as soon as I can get fresh eyes on it, I think that's where it really comes in.
We ran a lot of play tests, and every time I would invite people, I'm like, this is final play test, but it's never final. We just can't stop.
It's really not just one department creating something special. When you see all those things combine in the iteration and the back and forth, and when you get to this end result where it just feels like it couldn't be any other way, we hit on something amazing here.